Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to another section of my flight around England in a cub, because I'm a glutton for punishment. So this route, we're going to take off from Yarmouth, or North Deans as it actually is. We're going to fly out over Cromer, fly over towards Wells next on... No, wait, Wells is here. So what the heck is this one? Twitchwell? Twitchwell, that'll work. Over towards Twitchwell, out over towards Skegness, and then up to North Cotes. I've got some radio stuff sorted out, but let's get the sim loaded, and this is going to be a pretty long flight. Right. So what I've got is I've got some directions to fly in. Basically, I'm going to fly 322. And then make a gentle turn until I intersect the MAM VOR. Hopefully on a radial of 13, so I've got to set that up. Oh, and I still haven't set up my hat switches. Oopsie. See, there's a reason why I told myself I wouldn't do these back to back. Come on, come on. I'm clicking on this thing here. There we go. Brilliant. Got that out of the way. So, I've got to set up the MAM VOR, which is at 108. It's a low one, actually. 0.7. And then I'm looking for the radial coming off at 13. So when I cross this, when this line goes straight or it swings over, I have to turn to 301, and then I'm going to need to, oh, you know what, let's make that active, and then I'm going to need to intersect the VOR from GCY, which is 111.10. Wow, really? 0.10. And when I hit 90 degrees on that, I should be just passing over land, and then I turn to 338 and look for the airport. But that's a long way off. It's 6:30 in the morning. The sun is peeking up. This is supposed to be clear weather, actually, but it's not looking particularly clear, is it? Oh, whatever. So, where am I headed? I'm headed east, so I just need to turn left and head 322. Not that I can get that accurate with this thing. So let's get on with it. Oh, and I think I've got my pedals fixed, the brakes on my pedals. I think I've got those fixed. So we are up. That was easy. Since there shouldn't be too many clouds, I'm going to try and fly at a reasonable altitude, something like 3,000 or 4,000. So now I'm going to make my turn. Steep turn, but whatever. So I'm looking at 322. I think I might do is just follow the coastline around a little bit. I've got all the time in the world. So yeah, the problem I had with my rudder pedals, the brakes on my rudder pedals, I forgot to click the invert button. So they do actually work now. I can progressively apply brakes, and yeah, the axes do actually work. It helps when you actually, pay attention to what you're doing. But you know what? I wouldn't have figured that out if I hadn't reinstalled Windows 10 and Flight Sim World. So, you know what? I'm going to consider that a bit of a success. Yeah, it doesn't sound like the sound is responding properly, does it? Ah, there we go. No. Something's still not quite right with my sound. There we go. It's amazing what you can do when you take a minute to look at the instructions. I got 5.1 turned on, but I don't have my central speaker. Of course, now that's a little bit on the loud side, so I'm going to have to tweak that a little bit. You know what? I'll just do it like this. For the moment. There we go. There. Lovely. Gotta love the Cub though. Gorgeous little aircraft. Isn't it? I like it. I mean, it's not one of the big boys, you know. It's not a 747 or an A320, but it's got such a nice charm of its own. And if you want to learn to fly, this is definitely the place to start. One of these little guys. I used to vacation out here, you know. That might be the wrong word, actually, vacation. I used to come out here when I was a child and be bored for days. Yeah, that probably needs qualifying, doesn't it? My stepfather's mum lived out here, a place called Happisburg, and there was nothing there, absolutely nothing. The only thing there is a lighthouse, and lighthouses are only really exciting at dusk. But it's got, you had this big long beach, right? And I used to walk the beach. That was it. I'd get up, I'd get bored, and I'd go for a walk. The problem when you're a kid is, you know, you can't jump in a car and drive somewhere. But you know, on this beach there was an old pillbox. If you're not quite sure what a pillbox is, all the way along the English coastline, especially around the south, there are concrete bunkers that were put up during World War II, and they're called pillboxes. This particular one used to be on top of the cliff, but because of something called offshore drift and erosion, the cliffs have been receding quite a bit, and this pillbox that was once upon the cliff now sits at the base of the cliff. And it's slowly being filled in by the sea. It's quite spectacular, actually. Somehow I don't think the lighthouse or any of that stuff is going to be modelled. Certainly not the pillbox. You know what? I'm sitting in this cockpit here, and I'm looking at my radio nav, and I'm not picking up that VOR, which is a little bit disturbing. Although, hang on a minute. I'm still a fair distance away from it, so I wouldn't be picking it up yet. Look at cloud. Let's go around it a little bit. this time, because I knew that this flight was going to be a bit longer, I got myself a cup of tea ready. A bit of Earl Grey. You know what, you forget how flat areas of England really are. I believe that would be North Walsham over there, that runway. Alright, so a little bit about this town of Cromer, which we've passed over already. It's over there, somewhere. Cromer is not mentioned in the Doomsday Book, which is a bit curious. The place name of Cromer is actually first seen in a will in 1262. The name Cromer could mean Crowsmere or lake, and another idea is that it's a North Country word, Cromer, meaning a gap in the cliffs. In 1888, a small pleasure steamer called the Victoria struck the remains of a church tower that was hidden under the sea, and the rock was subsequently blown up for safety. Recently, members of the Great Yarmouth Aqua Club dove the site and salvaged artifacts from the medieval church and the wreck of the Victoria. Cromer Pier dominates the seafront and is 151 metres long. It features the Pavilion Theatre and dates from 1901. It also has a lighthouse that stands on the cliffs at the east end of the town. The tower is 18 metres tall and stands some 81 metres above sea level. The light from it actually has a range of about 21 nautical miles. Right. Looks like I'm coming up on a place called Blakely, sorry, which is near Wells next to the sea. This is where things start getting a bit weird with the coastline. We hit all these lovely little canals and stuff. And I'm going to be turning west, almost directly west at this point. That over there. That section there should be where I pick up that 13-degree VOR, and I'll head off over the sea towards Skegness. Yeah, Skegness. Everybody wanted to go to Skegness for their vacation. Yeah, no they didn't. So let's check in the cockpit, see if we've picked up that VOR yet. No, we haven't. That's a little disturbing. Let me double check the frequency here. 108.7. Yep. Now here's the thing. It shows up in FSW. It shows up in the flight planner, but it doesn't show up as a VOR in thingy. You know what thingy is? Sky Vector. Doesn't actually show up in Sky Vector as a VOR, so I'm thinking that it's improperly labeled. In FSW. We'll find out. I'm going to get pretty close to it. It's Marham? I want to say it's Marham. which isn't that far. Let's see here. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 40 miles from Titchwell, which, hang on, I'll point the nose of the aircraft at Titchwell. There you go. Titchwell is about there. So the Marsham MAM VOR should be just over there a little bit. Whoopsie, picking up a bit of wind shear there. Oi, oi, oi. Hang on, let me make sure nothing's fallen off. Alright. Ooh, look, I'm an owl. I can turn my head all around. Yeah, you can hear the wind blowing. Fair weather, huh? Alright, so let's pretend we've hit that VOR. We'll make our turn. What am I doing? 301. I think that's close enough. And then what I wanted to do was intersect the GCY VOR. So we'll change that. And I wanted to know when I hit the 90-degree radial on that. So there. So here we go. Hopefully, I think this will be my biggest stretch across water. I think. Well, that's kind of what I'm hoping. Let's have a look, see here. Unless, of course, I do the Edinburgh Channel. I might not actually. No, you know what? No, I won't do that. Alright. Let me go all the way up around there. And then things get a little bit tricky down the west side of Wales? West side of Scotland. It's very broken up down there. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to tackle it. I think I'll just draw a line almost straight down and fly that line. Follow it around. I'm not going to be doing Ireland. I won't go around Ireland. I'm just going to do England and Scotland and Wales. Abbeytown. No, okay. Yep, you know what? I think I'm going to make this, probably is going to be the longest stretch over water that I'm going to do. So there you go. So it looks like I'm getting absolutely nothing on my radios. Checking this out. Nothing here. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, isn't it? Oh well, never mind. It was worth a try. I've probably forgotten something, to be honest. So, here we are. Should be coming up on... So yeah, we should be coming up on Skegness. The name Skegness probably dates from the Danish period of settlement in England and is thought to potentially be from the name Skeggi, which may have been one of the Vikings who originally established the settlement. Skegness was primarily a fishing village in a small port until one day somebody had the great idea of building a railway there. And in, what was it, 1908, the first resort train arrived from King's Cross. After that, Skegness rapidly turned into a resort town and developed many interesting things, including some slides, a small roller coaster, Ferris wheel, and of course a Butlins. Of course, one of the problems with Skegness is it's on the east coast, which is stuck to the North Sea, so the weather can be a little bit bracing. And when the package holiday boom opened up Spain, the holiday makers to Skegness and of course Butlins declined rapidly. Like many seaside towns, Skegness has a pier. It's 562 meters long, which opened in 1881 at a cost of £20,000. That's quite a bit. Being on the North Sea, of course, the pier had a lot of troubles, including, you know, a ship impact, World War II, and some flooding. But it was on Wednesday, the 11th of January 1978, when a severe storm surge, which coincided with a high spring tide, brought disaster to the pier, along with many other piers on that side of the country, including Margate, Hernbait, and Hunsteden. And it was irrevocably damaged, and is now only 127 yards of pier left. Because of its location close to the wash and of course offshore drift, Skegness does actually have quite a sandy beach, and is well known for it. Of course, if you're going to go there, because of course it's close to the North Sea, you may want to bring a windbreak. Oh no, a cloud. We're just going to wind our way inland a little bit. The airport should be almost directly in front of me. Oh, there it is. There it is. Right there. Yeah, well, that's a bit of a problem. I'm going to have to slow down a little bit. Okay, well. Let's keep our airspeed away from that red line there, shall we? If we rip the wings off during our flight, that would be pretty bad. Looks like there's two runways. There's a very, very long one, and then there's a tiny little short one sticking out to the side. I wonder how accurate that is. A tiny little short one right there. I'm gonna land on the long one. Keep an eye on my altitude. I don't want to lose too much while I'm turning. Should see the runway come into view any second now. There it is. Brilliant. Now this is a good one because there's no visual cues for the runway, so I've got to eyeball the whole thing all the way in. This is going to be awesome. So I'm going to bring the throttle down a bit more. Oh yeah, look, those trees look like they've been perfectly manicured for that runway. Okay, I'm gonna let the nose drop a little bit. Kill the power a little bit so I don't get too fast. Alright, kill the power a lot. I feel like there's a bit of a crosswind going on, actually. I'm going to feather the throttle backwards and forwards a little bit. I want to make sure that I still have control of the aircraft. Or at least I feel like I have control of the aircraft. Yeah. That way, if I feel anything weird going on, I can just, you know, hit the throttle and get out of it very rapidly. I can see my shadow. Look! Over there on the right. Nice. Now he's going to kill the throttle entirely. Whoops. Just let her fall onto the runway. Wait! Ooh, that's a bit of a bouncy landing. Very bad. There we go. That's another leg done. Just gonna get her off the runway. I like the way the brakes make that farting noise. Parking brakes on. Done. That wasn't too bad. That was a pretty bad landing. I mean, I can do way better than that. But whew, that was an hour of flight. Nice. Wait, there's a tower? I find that difficult to believe. So that's that. Alright, let's have a quick squiz at the old map here. So I'm there by Grimsby. And that was an hour flight. That was pretty long, to be honest. Okay. Maybe I can find an airport over by Whitby or Scarborough and do that nice short leg next. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Anyway, for the minute, that's it. That's leg 3 of God knows how many. This was such a stupid idea. I will see you anon.